I already was live a minute ago, and now I'm live again. Sorry for this light. It's getting pretty dark already, and I'm outside because I don't know exactly where to go where it's quiet. The challenges of being in a different place than at home. Yeah, this is better. But we're gonna make the best of it. So, thanks so much for being here, for everyone that is just tuning in. My name is Oriana, and this is a filmmaking channel, and today's live is about creative blocks and how to overcome them. Tell me, can you hear me? I'll have to go somewhere where it's a bit brighter. And just packing up my things here. So, today we are in a beautiful place. It's called the Isole di Brissago, and I teased about this. I don't know if any of you saw my video on the Brissago Island that I made some years ago. It's a very quick overview. So today we're gonna be talking about ways to overcome creative block. And I'm gonna share my overview with you so you have some idea. Here it is. Oops. So you have a goal, like writing a script, and then your creative block comes in. You're overwhelmed, maybe you have high expectations, like I want to have 5 scenes written today, or 20 pages, or 20,000 words, whatever. You're distracted by your phone, random thoughts, or many to-dos, and then I've got a solution for you. So let's get into it. We are in a botanical garden tonight. Looks like it's already night. Hello, can you hear me, please? First viewer, and welcome. Please introduce yourself if you want to. Hello, can you hear me? Can you give me some sign if you can hear me? That would be very appreciated. A like, okay. So come on, guys. Can you hear me? I asked. I am. Hello, welcome. Can someone please type in the chat if you can hear me? Hello? Okay, so we are at the beautiful Isola di Brissago. Behind me is the Villa Emden, and this is Botanical Garden. And I think I found my spot. I'm using key light here. This is my key light, so a little lighting class while we're at it. I asked if you can hear me. Hi. And everyone that has been following my journey knows that I'm not single, no, I'm married and I have 2 kids. Any more questions? And if you just want to spam, you can leave. But if you're interested in storytelling, then you're welcome to stay. So, can you hear me? I hope so. So today's live is about connecting with you guys and giving you some ideas, and maybe you have some ideas too, how to overcome creative block. So I'm gonna share with you some of the tips that I have here. I wrote it down. So first of all, you have a goal. May that be writing a script, or writing a novel, writing something, or getting your schedule done for your film, whatever it may be. And then you are blocked. You're creatively blocked. You don't know where to go on from there. And so most of the time that comes with having too many expectations, too many ideas of what to do next, and maybe also some distractions. Thank you for the hearts. Um, can someone type in the chat if you can hear me, please? Um, and otherwise I'll do. Can you hear me now? Okay, everyone left. But one person. Hello. The real people here now. um, so when you are setting too many goals for yourself, when you have too many to-dos or things that you have to get done right now, that's usually one of the reasons for overwhelm. Like I am the same. Like if I want to do 5 things at once at the same time, I end up doing nothing or nothing to the end. So I'm sure you know this feeling. And so my solution would be set one achievable goal per session. And you have, my advice is having a session of at least 2 hours where you are writing, doing your thing for your project. And then for that 2 hour session, you set yourself one goal, not more. And then if you end up finishing that goal, that to do before those 2 hours are up, then that's great, you know. But if you end up being overwhelmed or you don't even get that one to do done, then you don't want to add to your plate. Okay. So again, can you hear me? Okay. Where are my real people here that are interested in this subject? Okay. I'm just going on. So if you are distracted by your phone, random thoughts, to-dos, you have to set one goal and then one goal only. And once you're done with this, you will feel so much better. Now, the key to writing your scene or whatever it is, if it's your screenplay, if it's an outline, if it's your novel, it doesn't really matter, is while you are writing this one scene that you chose as your first to do, you don't edit it. You just write what comes to your mind, and of course, you're allowed to correct typos, but other than that, you don't. You just keep on going. And then you can just let yourself be okay with whatever you write. And even if that's crap, you know, doesn't really matter because you have to start somewhere. And as they say, you cannot edit a blank page, but you can edit bad writing. So that would be the key takeaway here, the number one takeaway. Sorry for this bad lighting. This should be a lesson for everyone here, including myself, that I should have scheduled this 1 hour earlier. I could not because my kids would not have been in bed already, but now I can, you know, with your eyes, you can still see where you're going, but on camera, it's already pretty dark. So sorry about that. Next live will be in 2 weeks and I will be back home, so hopefully with better lighting. Welcome to everyone that's new. Again, can you hear me? Do I have to type it in the chat? Please, just type yes, I can hear you if you can. Okay, and then the mindset shift is if you have emotions coming up when you are writing something and you know you're not sure about how you feel about that, just sit with these emotions, sit with the frustration of, oh, I'm not Hemingway or whatever. We all are not Hemingway, by the way. And give yourself permission to start and be imperfect and trust the process. As I just said, you cannot edit a blank page, but you can edit bad writing. So, and we don't ever edit what we've just written because in the moment you tend to be overcritical. That's just in our human nature, unfortunately. So just let that be. Okay, I have to change pages here. So that leads me to my next point, which is stop judgment of yourself and others. Because actually, judgment of others is just judgment of yourself in disguise. Did you know that? So, for instance, if you're judging someone for, I don't know, having certain mannerisms, then you might be ticked off by your own. So, Anyway, if you are just more kind to yourself and to others, of course, that helps you just be, accepting of your own self, of your imperfect self, because all of us are imperfect, but we're human and that's fine, that's okay. um, so accept where you are in the process, and this also leads me to willpower versus alignment. Those are very strong words. Willpower meaning, I have to get this done, and I'm fighting against so much inner resistance, and I don't know what to do and how to do it, and blah blah blah. So if you are building a new habit, of course it does require some willpower in the beginning, but then after a certain time you will also have to distinguish be able to distinguish between willpower and alignment. So, what do I mean by that? If there's a ton of resistance from you, then you will know that something's off, that something's not right. So, also meaning that if you are in alignment, you will also know, because you will come into the flow state, which is what my last video was about, and you can check it out after this one. Getting into the flow state is basically also just removing distractions, having your routine down, knowing what you want from this session, going back to the to-dos that I just mentioned, having one to-do only, and getting that done, and then taking that off your list, and that will feel satisfying, I hope. So you have to build a routine first, and that takes about 30 days or more. So stick to this routine for 30 days at least. So for 4 weeks in a row, you will set aside your dedicated time window for your creative craft, if that's writing or if it's something else, if it's filmmaking, if it's painting. I don't care. It's just about what you want to do with your life and how you can fit that into your busy schedule that all of us have. And then you have 2-hour sessions, one or more a week. It always depends on all your obligations that you have, if you have family, if you have a demanding job, and so on. And I would advise to have a fixed window of time that is always the same window of time in your week, like for instance, Saturday mornings or something like that. And then you structure your session. So you prepare your to-dos, you write them down, and ideally you do that before you start your 2-hour session. So like the evening before that, you already have your to-dos written down, and you pick one, just one for this session, and you can already know before you start your session where you're going with this, what you want from this. So that's very important. Just one to do. We tend to overload our to-dos, our schedules, our responsibilities, and then we're overwhelmed, and so on. Also, turn your phone off or put it on silent. And also, if you say, I don't have time, look at your screen time on your phone, like how much time did you spend on Instagram, how much time did you spend on TikTok, and so on. I'm betting there will be 1 or 2 hours that you will have freed up if you're willing to do so. So, thank you for the likes. Pick what you want to do, and then as the start of your session, I recommend sitting in stillness and just connecting to source, channeling your character that you want to write as, tuning into them. What is going on in their lives? Because they're not you, right? So my protagonist, she's a bit younger than I am, and she just had her birthday a month ago, and I felt the need to think of her on her birthday. How funny is that? She feels like a real person to me, and there are certain likes, dislikes, attributes about her, and when I think of this whole picture, it helps me get into the zone of her. How would she talk in this situation? Would she even say something? How would she act? If attacked verbally, what would she do? And so on. And then you do automatic writing for 5 to 10 minutes. My 5 minutes are enough. Automatic writing, what is that? That is, you set a timer for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and you just have to keep on writing. The pen has to move. No matter what you are writing, you're trying to be in the perspective of your main character that you're about to write about, and you just keep on writing until the timer's up. So that's basically it. And then you are in the zone, you can write, and then you can tackle your first to do, which might be work on this one scene and specify in advance which scene you're going to work on, not just look at my script. That's not precise enough, because that happened to me. Like, I open my document for my screenplay, and then I end up scrolling through the scenes and reading this, reading that, and then of course I'm more in the script, but I don't know where I'm going. Then I'm lost in reading some scenes that I wrote some time ago, and then I don't know what to do next. So have a clear to do, one to do. Okay, I'm gonna rewrite or write scene number 33, and you have an outline for that scene. What is the main conflict? What's gonna happen in this scene? Um, which characters do have to be there? And always ask yourself, okay, what is character A's goal in this scene? What is character B's goal? And do they have a clear conflict? So that helps you determine if you even need this scene. Okay, so once you have tackled your first to do, you leave it alone. You leave it alone. The scene you've just written, you leave that alone. Okay, promise me that. We all have been there, that we've just finished a scene, we've just finished writing a scene, and now we want to tear it apart, and that's not helpful, right? Who agrees with me on that one? That's not helpful. So just leave it alone, and then no instant revisions of your scene that you've just written, and then you tick that off your to-do list and you move on to your next to-do. That's basically it. And then you repeat the whole process. So that's basically what the whole concept is. So for those that have just joined, this is about overcoming creative block. And I just realized I did not title this stream because I actually had one prepared and it did not work. So that's maybe why there's so many random people here today. For the 4 of you that are here right now, do you have any questions regarding screenwriting, overcoming creative block, filmmaking? Because I am running a filmmaking channel. I've been a filmmaker for over 20 years, and I want to help you get from the idea of, oh, it would be nice to make a film, to actually making your film. So ask your questions now. Hello, I'm Oriana, by the way, for everyone that's never seen my face before. And I'm currently outside, that's why the lighting is not great. I apologize, but we are in a beautiful place. I'll just show you. Maybe you can see in the background, this is a botanical garden. By the way, if you're ever in a place you don't know what way to look, just do a 360. And then you will find out this is very bad, backlight, that's the worst. So this is the best we can do right now. I hope you learned something. I also have some filmmaking and some photography tutorials on my channel. And my channel is all about making your first or next film. And I also have a a 6 month framework on my channel, video detailing what exactly you have to do in what order if you want to make your film and not just think about it or talk about it or dream about it. So, would you like to introduce yourselves? I'm excited to meet you. I just have to take a sip of water because I've been talking for 20 minutes, 30 actually. Hello, welcome. Where are you tuning in from? I'd love to know who's watching. Welcome. We are on the Brissago Islands, by the way. This is the most southern tip of Switzerland. It's in Ticino, and it's a botanical garden, and it's beautiful here. And I have a video on my channel that shows this place by daylight. So, would you like to introduce yourselves, guys, girls, whatever, whoever is here? Excited to have you here. It's very hot here. Is it hot where you are? Okay, I'm gonna just quickly repeat what I've been saying in case anyone missed it. So far, I've only gotten some off-topic comments, let's call them that. So if you would like to know anything about filmmaking, storytelling, then go right ahead and ask me. I'm just gonna go over once more what we've covered. So this is actually about overcoming creative block. So if you are not sure where to go with your project, or you're just sitting down and you want to write something and you don't know what to do when this creative block hits. We all know it. Some call it staring at the blank page, especially writers. And there's a whole lot of different strategies out there of how to overcome creative block. But anyway, my idea is just to have a to-do list that you already have before you are sitting down to write, and then you have a clear order in which to do I want to tackle first. And then you sit down, you have a 2 hour time frame at least, and you start by thinking about your character. What would you like? What kind of music might they be listening to? You can also listen to some music that fits them or do something like that. Or you can do automatic writing, which is you set a timer and for like 3 minutes, and you try to write something in the main character's perspective that you're going to write about. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Automatic writing is all about being just moving, moving the pen, not stopping for 3 minutes, just writing whatever comes to mind without any filter. And that can also reveal quite a lot about this character. Who is this person? And maybe they have some wounds, like emotional wounds that have not come up in your story yet, that should come up or that would be interesting to explore. Hello, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourselves? I've also then would advise after this automatic writing to start your to-do, your first to-do, and just focus on one to-do and have the goal of having one to-do that you check off your list once those 2 hours are up, not more than that. This also comes back to your expectations, not having astronomical expectations, but actually being grateful for that one to do once you tackled that. Hello, welcome. Can you hear me? So I'm talking about creative block and how to overcome that. You start with setting one goal, one to do, and having some time to get into the zone, into your character, and then tackling that one to do that you have on your list, and just just one at a time. And once you're done with that, be grateful, check it off your list, and then maybe take a quick break, and then move on with your next one. So basically, not getting distracted, putting your phone on silent, and just being in the moment. I think being in the moment is so important, so underrated, and I think it can help us a lot. And that's where my kids are a huge inspiration. They are just in the moment. They don't know about yesterday or tomorrow. It's all about now. And if we can embody more of that ourselves, then we focus on just one thing and we also get that done more likely. And we're also happier because it's not about what went wrong yesterday or what might the future bring. It's just about now. Hello and welcome. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I don't know where my true people are. If you are one of them, please introduce yourselves or ask a question. Hello. This is about overcoming creative blocks. Do you have any questions? Because I've said the same thing about 3 times already. And maybe you have a specific question that I haven't covered yet. Oh, hello. There's people showing up now. Can anyone hear me? Do I have to type in this chat? Can you hear me? Does anyone just hello? Can you hear me? Cocoache 2491. Can you hear me? Okay. So today's live stream is about. Thank you very much. Finally, someone answering my question. Of like I've been asking people if you can hear me for 27 minutes now. Thank you. So, do you have any questions specifically about overcoming creative block or about the filmmaking journey, about writing? Because I am running a filmmaking channel and I've been making films for over 20 years, and this is basically my special field of specialty. I just talked about overcoming creative block and um, the importance of just having one goal at a time and not 20 and not even two, and being disciplined enough to set aside time for your craft, for your creativity, and yeah, not getting distracted. So putting your phone on silent mode, also telling your family or whoever you're living with that this is uninterrupted time. It's also very important, and just getting into the zone of your character by doing automatic writing and just doing one thing at a time. Okay. I've said the same thing for like 3 times now. So I think unless there are any questions, if you have any questions, then ask them. It can also just be about filmmaking in general. Have any of you that are watching already made a film? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious. I just want to get to know my audience a little bit. And if you are thinking about making a film or writing something, where are you stuck? Is there something I can help you with? I'll just say again, we are outside. Maybe you can hear the airplane. I am on the Brissago Islands and I am outside at a park. And this is literally the best I can do for lighting. This is my key light. So, doing what I can. Okay, if I could summarize my best tips for starting to make films, it would be those. Number one, pick a simple story idea. Pick a story idea that you can execute in two days of filming with 2 actors in one location. That would mean having a script that is 5 pages maximum and writing for what you have basically. So if you know I have an apartment with a garden, then write for that. If you know I have, I don't know, a mansion with a pool, then write for that. You know what I mean? Just write for something that you know you have access to. Number two, test your story idea, your elevator pitch with a few, but only a few people that you trust that have your best interest at the heart and really want to see you succeed. So basically, an elevator pitch, who knows what an elevator pitch is? You need to know this, even if you're not in filmmaking. It's basically for any business idea, you need to have an elevator pitch. Who can tell me what that is? Come on, guys. Okay, I'll tell you. So basically, you have an idea, right, about your film or about your project, about something you need support with, and then you need to be able to sum that up in 2 to 3 sentences. So just this is my idea, and it's about this character, and they're doing this and that, and it has to be clear, it has to be compelling, and it has to be short. Why the name elevator pitch? Because it should not take longer than how long it takes to ride an elevator. That's why. And yeah, that's very important. So it always takes some time for you, if you have a story idea, to get to that point, to be able to summarize your project so quickly. But it's if there's any, if people are intrigued by your idea, or if they start yawning after one sentence, then that's not a good sign. And also ask them, what did you find unclear, or what bugs you about this, or what did you find interesting, and then you can refine and tweak from there. Number three would be well prepared and take your own craft seriously. Those are two in one, but yeah, be well prepared. Well, that should go without saying, but what I mean by that is you can save so much time and money if you're well prepared. So for set, if you know you have like 20 shots that you want to get in one day, which is a lot, but just an example, then you have to know exactly where to put the camera, how to frame the shot, where to put the lights, what props to use, and so on. So that's why we're doing location scouts in advance, we're doing shot lists, we're doing floor plans, and so on. And if you think right now, wow, that's a lot, Oriana, I know. I have videos on all this on my channel. And what was the last one? I can't remember. So yeah, be well prepared is basically is essential. Yeah. Okay. Hello to everyone that's new. I realized I did not title this stream, which might explain why there's so many random people here, but welcome anyway. If you have any questions about storytelling, visual storytelling, filmmaking, writing, then let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you get from idea overwhelm to making your first or next film that you're proud of, that you want to show around. And also a bit more broadly, I'm also big on the mindset thing, because I've been through some things that where I've had mindset shifts that have helped me so much, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, or would feel the same way if they had those mindset shifts as well. And I mean, like the biggest one that a lot of us have, this is a little bit off topic, but I will get to the filmmaking in a minute again, is life happens for you, it doesn't happen to you. What's the difference? Well, if you say, it just happened to me, you're putting yourself in a victim mindset. And I know that might be triggering to some people. And if it triggers something in you, you have some inner work to do. And this is a judgment-free zone. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying that might be your soul saying, okay, or your ego, we have some work to do here, or we have something that maybe we should look at. And if you say life happens for you, you're basically taking everything that life throws at you. Yeah, sometimes, we get curveballs, and you're asking, what can I learn from this? And there's also saying that goes, rejection is protection, and I believe that. So sometimes, you might have applied for a job and you didn't get it, and you can think of this in two ways. You can think, oh, they never pick me, or I'm just not good enough, blah, blah, blah. Or you can say, okay, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe this would have been a job where I would have had a horrible boss, or I would have been deeply unhappy, whatever. So there's a blessing in every situation, and I'm not saying that every situation is easy, and I've been through hard things as well, but just the mindset of it all makes all the difference, in my opinion. And coming back to filmmaking, also teasing my next video next week is gonna be a video that is filmed inside with better lighting. Uh, that talks about what I did when federal funding rejected me, because I applied for federal funding for my feature and I didn't get the grant, and that messed with me a little bit. And I share what I learned from that and some key insights that you might find useful as well. And again, the mindset makes all the difference. Okay, so um, it's weird having so many people coming and going, and obviously most of them are just randomly tuning in for a minute or two. Hello, welcome. If you have a question about filmmaking, ask it now, because I'm gonna conclude this stream very, very soon. Um, but it was interesting. And yeah, like something new, going mobile, going live from my mobile for the first time, and yeah, it's fun. Very beautiful here. I'm at a botanical garden, and of course now it's nighttime. So if you are filming outside, actually, do you know how most night scenes are filmed outside? Can anyone tell me that? Don't be shy. I'm not gonna bite your head off. Like, also, if you're not a filmmaker, you might be wondering, how are scenes outside filmed at night? Are they actually filmed at night or not? There's a trick behind this. I mean, so many tricks behind filmmaking, and some people are shocked when I reveal some of those secrets of the trade, tricks of the trade. And filming during nighttime basically means you need more lights than during the daytime, which might shock some people. So it's really funny, it's really interesting that you need a lot of light in order to be able to take it away again. That's exactly how it works if you're filming during the night. And if you don't have that kind of money and you think, oh, you're freaking out right now that your script is set at night. Okay, you haven't made it easy for yourself, but I do have a silver lining for you. You can also shoot day for night. Does anyone know what that means? Day for night means you're shooting during the day, but you're pretending it's night. And if you're watching certain, TV series, they don't have a lot of budget. I mean, compared to independent filmmakers, they do, but compared to Hollywood, they don't. It's always a matter of perspective, right? So anyway, what they do is they reduce the aperture, so blende, opening, so that less light comes through the lens, and then it seems darker. That's what they do. And then it still looks like it's dawn or dusk. It doesn't look like pitch black, because guess what? If it's pitch black, then you can't see anything. No one wants to see a film where it's pitch black. So you might have noticed that in our lived experience as humans, We actually can, our eyes can adapt to darkness to a certain extent, not like a fox's or a cat's, but still, a camera cannot. The camera just has their specs and that's it. I'll answer that in a minute. Magischer thanks for your question. But so day for night basically means again they're pretending it's night, and you can tell now. You know this trick that the next time you watch a movie, you keep your eye out for that. Magischer Lurch. I'm Swiss, and I do this in English because I love languages and also because I want to reach some more people, and because the film that I'm writing right now is also in English. Hope that answers your question. Any more questions? And thank you for your question. And I have videos coming out every Tuesday at 9. 1 week it's a live, like tonight, and 1 week it's a video. So basically, weekly long forms from me about filmmaking and a little bit of mindset, and also making time for your art when you have a busy life, which basically all of us do, right? I'm a mom of two small kids, 1 and 2 years old, so I don't have a lot of time. That's why I'm doing this now, once they're already in bed, and hence the not so much time. Okay, any more questions? Because I have to wrap this up very soon. But I'm enjoying this. It's kind of a one-sided experience that people don't tell you about this, but it's also fun. So we're trickling down to 1. I think I'm gonna conclude this now, and I hope you had fun, you learned something maybe, and if you did, consider subscribing, then you can get to know me some more, and maybe you won't be so shy and can also comment on the next live or on the next video. Looking forward to seeing some of you again, and have a nice evening. Until next time, next week with a video, in 2 weeks live again. Bye, good night.